Hi guys, so it was brought to my attention that some of the stuff was cut off, so I'm going to redo these examples and I'm going to screencast it instead and hope for the best, okay? So these are Regents questions. Some of you are going to, even though you're exempt from taking the Algebra 2 Regents as a course requirement, some of you are still going to want to take the Regents so that you can have that extra on your diploma, your transcript, whatever. Anyway, so here we go. It says, after Roger's surgery, his doctor administered pain medication in the following amounts in milligrams over 4 days. Okay, they're a big fan of recursive sequences, and they're a big fan of using geometric sequences to model those. And that ties into exponential functions. So basically, we check to see if this is arithmetic. And what we do is we want to see, I want to make sure that this function is not arithmetic. So if I do 2000 and I subtract 1680, I get 320. So the question is, well, if I subtract 320 from 1680, do I get the next entry? And the answer is no. Okay, so then my next question is, well, is this geometric? Well, if this was geometric, then I should be able to divide any two consecutive terms, back your calculator, and have the same common ratio. So if I take 1680 and I divide that by 2000, then I get 0.84. And the question is, well, if I do 1680 times 0.84, do I get the same thing? Do I get the next term? And the answer is yes. So this is geometric. Okay, so I'm going to minimize this. So my common ratio is 0.84. And I can start eliminating some of these answer choices because answer choice 2 and answer choice 4 are not recursive. So you know that recursive formulas, they always have to give you the first part and whatever your first term is, and then they give you the rule for everybody after that. Okay, so since this is geometric, the recursive formula for a geometric sequence is a sub n is equal to a sub n minus 1 times r. Okay, so that would be times 0.84. And our a sub 1 here is 2000. So they both have the same a sub 1, but only one of these is being depicted as a geometric, and that's answer choice 3. Answer choice 1 is saying that it's arithmetic and you're subtracting 320 every time. Okay, now let's move on. Next question. Number 298. We have a population. They're a big fan of population problems because those tend to be exponential functions. Population of Jamesburg was reported as follows. How can the sequence be modeled recursively? Give me 1 second here. Okay, so first of all, I want to see if this is arithmetic. And if I do 250,000 minus 250,937, that means that whatever, that it went up 937. So if I add 250,937 plus 937, do I get the third term? And the answer is no. Okay, so this is not arithmetic. Okay, so then my next line of defense, is this geometric? So I'm going to take the 250, 937, and I'm going to divide that by the previous term. Remember, I can use any two consecutive terms to find that common ratio. So I'm going to do that, and we got to see if that's my common ratio. So if that is my common ratio, if I take the second term and multiply that by r, I should get the third term. So I'm going to multiply this by the second term and see if I get the third term. And I do, because this would round up to an 8. So it would be 251,878. So this is geometric. Okay, so r is equal to 1.00375. Okay, and it has to be recursive, so I'm going to ignore this answer choice, and I'm going to ignore this answer choice. Okay, a sub 1 is 250,000. So the formula for a recursive formula for a geometric is a sub n is equal to a sub n minus 1 times r. So that's going to be a sub n is equal to a sub n minus 1 times 1.00375. Okay, so if you compare these two answer choices, this one is modeled like an arithmetic, okay, because they're saying add 937 to each term, and whereas this one's saying multiply each term by 1.00375. So it's answer choice 3. And I also want to point out that this formula, this is an explicit formula for geometric. Okay, so they'll throw that in there to confuse you. Okay, all right, let's move on. Number 299. In 2010, the population in New York State was approximately 19,378,000 with an annual growth rate of 1.5%. Okay, so if it's 1.5% as a decimal, that is 0.015. So that's your growth rate. Remember, that's the same thing as a growth factor. Assuming this growth rate is maintained for a large number of years, so we're assuming that this is the same percentage increase, which equation can be used to predict the population in New York State 2 years after 2010. All right, so this is an exponential function, and they just want you to write it recursively. Okay, so when I think of exponential function equations where it's just a fixed percent increase for whatever unit of time, I think of either 1 plus p naught, where that's your initial amount, times 1 plus r to the t, or 1 minus r if it's decay. Okay, but this one is growth. Okay, so we have 19,378,000 is your initial amount. That's your p naught. This is p naught. And then r is 0.015. So then if you plug that in, it's going to be times 1 plus 0.015 to the t. Okay. Now, they want you to gravitate towards this one because you see 1.5, 1.5. Can't be answer choice 1. Okay. And now we have some recursive equations and we have some explicit ones. They're going to want you to pick answer choice 3 because this looks a lot like what I have here. But the thing that's wrong with answer choice 3 is that this is t years after 2010. Okay. So if I were to plug in 1 year, let t equal 1 year after 2010, then when I plug that in here for answer choice 3, this goes to the 0 power, which makes this whole thing 1. Okay, I would have 1.015 to the 0 power, which equals 1, which means that I end up with the same population. So we're basically saying 1 year later, the population stayed the same. That's not true. Okay, that's not possible here based on the problem. Okay, so now it's down to these two. Okay, so this is a geometric equation, okay, for the equation for the explicit formula. Well, these are both recursive, so I'll just write the recursives. The recursive will be your 19,378,000, and your a sub n will be equal to your a sub n minus 1 times r. So a sub n minus 1 times 1.015. And the r that I'm mentioning here is not the same thing as the r when we think of exponential functions. Okay, this is your common ratio, which is not the same thing as a growth rate. Okay, and this would be, so if you think about it, then it has to be this one. Okay, answer choice 4. And if you're like, well, I don't know why. Well, if I say p sub 1, 1 year after 2010, this would have to be p sub 1 because p naught is my initial starting amount. And I do this and I multiply that times p naught, which is this right here. And that will give me my population that next year after. Okay, now let's move on to the next one. Okay, so that leaves us at answer choice 4. Answer choice 1, answer choice 2 is some weird stuff. So it's just straight up wrong. Okay. So anyway, moving on. Next problem. Let's change colors. At her job, Pat earns $25,000 for the first year and receives a raise of $1,000 each year. The explicit formula for the nth term of the sequence is best modeled by this. So this is for an arithmetic, which makes sense because, so our common difference is 1,000 because each year she's getting a raise, a flat raise of 1,000 each year. That doesn't change. It's always 1,000 each year. So I want the rule that represents an equivalent recursive formula. Well, you know that a recursive formula for an arithmetic is you have to state what your first term is, which is the 25,000. And then, so it's a sub 1 equals whatever your number is. And it's a sub n is equal to a sub n minus 1 plus d. Right? You take the previous term, the previous year, add the next amount on. Add that same amount on, the common difference. That should make sense. Okay, so then a sub n is equal to a sub n minus 1 plus 1,000. Okay, so that has to be answer choice 3. Okay, this one, which looks similar but not the same, this is saying, okay, if this is a sub 1, take a sub 2 and add 1,000. That doesn't make sense. Okay, that's there to distract you, make sure you're not, see if you're really checking to see if you're paying attention or not. Okay, and then these are explicit formulas. So this is actually the explicit formula, not the recursive. And this one's just straight up wrong. Okay, all right. Last one for this recording. We have Elena, who's going to run a half marathon in May. She researched training plans on the internet, and she's looking at 2 possible plans, Jillian's plan and Josh's 14-week plan. So they plotted out over the weeks the total number of miles they would have to run. So week 1, week 2, okay? So which of the following plans follows an arithmetic pattern? Well, if you look here at Josh's plan, he kicks it up a mile on week 2 and then drops it down 1 mile, week 3, and then kicks it up a mile, kicks it up a mile, kicks it down a mile, up a mile, up a mile, up a mile, and then down, and then up a mile, up a mile, up a mile, up a mile. So there's definitely a pattern here, but it's not arithmetic because he's not increasing by the same amount or decreasing by exactly the same amount every single time. It's actually changing. It's doing a combination of increasing and decreasing. Okay, whereas Jillian's plan, week 1, it's 10 miles you run, and then week 2, it's 11 miles you run, and then week 3, it's 12 miles, and week 4, it's 13 miles. So here the common difference is 1 mile. Okay, so Jillian's plan is arithmetic because the increase is constant, which equals 1 additional mile each week. Okay, but you're not done. There's more to this question. Okay, it says Jillian's plan, explain how you arrived at your answer. Write a recursive definition to represent the number of miles each week for the duration of the plan you chose. Okay, so recursive for arithmetic, it's going to be a sub 1 equals, so week 1, 10 miles. And then a sub n minus 1 is equal to a sub n plus d. So in that case, for this, a sub n, no, I totally wrote that wrong. Okay, equals a sub n minus 1 plus 1. That's your recursive. Okay, but wait, there's more. Jillian's plan has an alternative if Elena wanted to train instead for a full 26-mile marathon. Week 1 would start at 13 miles and follow the same pattern for half the marathon, but it would continue for 14 weeks. So it really doesn't matter. It's going to be the same pattern. They want you to write an explicit formula. Okay, this is a really dumb question. Anyway, so a sub 1, saying we're starting at 13 miles. Common difference is still 1. This time they want you to write an explicit formula. Okay, so it doesn't really matter that it's a full 26-mile marathon. Our explicit formula for arithmetic is always a sub n is equal to a sub 1 plus n minus 1.